Detroit Lions fans, today I'm talking about my three key things that I'm watching for the Detroit Lions and OTAs. And usually we find ourselves, we're reporting on different topics, we're reporting on different stories for this team. But today I want to take a step back and kind of give that difference, kind of give my own voice, what I feel about this team. And there's some good things I feel about this team, a lot of good things that I feel about this team. So getting straight into it, it's the formations, the first thing. And when I say formations, people say, what are you talking about? Why do you care about a formation? Let me say this. A lot of new faces, a lot of new guys in this room. People are saying, we give Andy Reid 3 months to prepare for our defense. We're giving Ben Johnson 3 months to prepare for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think that's just as scary. Because, Ben Johnson doing what he's been able to do, I'm surprised he's even on his coaching staff still. Nobody came and picked him up. Nobody got him. And it's going to be a battle throughout these next couple of years trying to retain Ben Johnson, knowing that good coordinators often become head coaches. That's kind of the bad part about this business. But I'm gonna dive deeper into what I'm saying. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam LaPorta, David Montgomery, Marvin Jones Jr., all these types of guys. And I talk about formations because it's a lot of new wrinkles that I'm expected to be added into this offense. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs, having him in the backfield, David Montgomery, I think a lot of people are underselling David Montgomery, because of Jahmyr Gibbs, because of all the touchdowns he scored, because of the 4.3 speed, all of that. People are not looking at the fact that David Montgomery can run the ball. He can be that power back, but he also has agility and quickness, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. Now, looking at what he did in Chicago, he was really that guy. He caught the ball, ran the ball, did a lot for that team, and I think he can do a lot for this team. You have a two-headed monster. It's not a 1.5 monster. It's not Jahmyr Gibbs pops off and then David Montgomery's sad and waning in the area. It's not that. Both of these guys are going to get touches. Both of these guys are going to shine. That's what I'm expecting in this offense. And particularly going into the tight ends, I think the tight ends are the secret to unlocking what can really be had in this offense. All of these receivers, all of these slot guys, all of these running backs, it's nothing without the tight ends because and we all know because we drafted Brian Branch for this exact reason. Nickel. Establish that vocabulary into your head because we're trying to keep the nickel off of the field. We're trying to get more Sams. We're trying to get more wheels onto the football field. And that's going to come along with these two tight end sets that we're trying to bring. We got Shane Zylstra. We got James Mitchell. We got LaPorta and Brock Wright. Now, and I looked at all these teams, Dallas Cowboys, 49ers. I went back to them, and I'm saying it again because you run these two tight end sets and all these heavy formations, tackle over, everything you could possibly do. And now we can't put our nickel on the football field. We can't run dime. We can't run these formations because we got to have guys who going to tackle. We got to have guys who going to thump in that box. So now all these safeties and all these little pretty guys playing around, these Mike Hiltons, these Kyle Hamiltons, these guys, it's none of that. I need to see Dre Greenlaw. I need to see Jack Sanborn. I need to see those types of guys that we're going to be playing against, true linebackers. Now, when we do that, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he can play a little bit, and I'm talking about truly in the slot, not a guy who's catching it out of the backfield. I think he can line up in the slot and make an impact in this offense. And I talked about, that's why I'm saying the touches, the shine. I think these guys can be on the same football field at the same time, have an impact, getting the football. Now, adding deeper to that, we're going to bring Jameson Williams back, and he can't play the first 6 games. Everybody knows it. That's cool. But having all of that, I just want to see the wrinkles in this offense. How does Ben Johnson use these guys, and what's different? I think this is going to be another top 5 offensive season. Now, adding to that, the engine that makes this thing go, that's the offensive line. And I want to see I want to see behind Frank Ragnow because he has the inoperable toe, and we understand that, and we wish he could have got it operated on, but it's just no more tissue there. There's nothing we can do about that, and so that's understood. But at the end of the day, I need to see who's going to step up, who's going to be that leader, because we brought in Graham Glasgow, and I think he's kind of that versatile guy, can play a couple different positions, but We got Corby Solstro. And now, who's going to be that leader? Who's going to step up? I'm seeing stunts. I'm seeing blitzes. I'm calling that out. I'm calling out the pass protections. All of the things, the little things on the offensive line. Who's doing that other than Frank Ragnow? I need to see another leader. And maybe that's a Taylor Decker. Maybe that's a Penei Sewell. But particularly on the interior, because Vitae had that injury, is he going to be 100% healthy? And even if he is 100% healthy, can he go all 17 games? These are the type of questions we have to be asking ourselves and looking at these guys in the offensive line room saying we're comfortable with our depth. I think that's the biggest thing for this team, becoming comfortable with their depth, and that starts in OTAs. That's obviously why it's on my mind. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, it's not a lot of questions I have, but my key is finding that guy on the edge. Because I see a lot of Detroit Lions fans, we're looking at other guys, and even interior as well, it's finding that next guy opposite Aiden. Now, we got Kaminsky, we got Broderick, we got Biggs, we got McNeil. We have these guys, but who's going to be the guy that we don't question? Nobody's questioning Aiden Hutchinson. We're trying to send him to the Pro Bowl. Who's going to be that next guy? Is James Houston ready to take that leap? Is Romeo Okwara ready to take that leap? I'm looking and I'm actively searching for these guys while I'm in OTAs, and then start switching mindset. How do you look? What are you thinking about? How are you rushing the passer? Are you perfecting yourself in reps? Even if you're not running a rep, even if you're in the line, you're watching a rep, okay, I'm looking. How's he doing that? What's making him get that edge over me? How's he bending that corner faster than me? All of the little things. And we start clicking. And key thing about James Houston, I think he can be that guy. Looking at that bend, a lot of people don't have it. A lot of people don't have it. I'm emphasizing that because all you Detroit Lions fans know, with James Houston, that's special. And you can't dim his light. So I'm wondering, is he going to bulk up? What is he going to do? Is he going to put his hand in the dirt? Is he the rush linebacker? Is he coming in on passing downs? Because I don't think the production is going to fall off. You understand, when teams found out, when teams got hip to what was going on, they were trying to double the problem. They were trying to chip the problem. They were trying to already do all of these things that we talk about happening to players when they produce and get better. He already saw a little bit of that, so he knows what's coming his way. And if you do try to double him, if you do try to chip him, Aiden on that other side. So how many times do we want to do that? How many times can we honestly do that? Unless we got a lockdown tackle. Not many teams have a lockdown tackle. Now, also, like I said, the interior, we're watching that as well, but I just want to know who's that guy focusing. And it's the same thing with the offensive line, and I'm talking about with the defensive line. I need that for sure guy, but I'm not talking about depth with the defensive line. I need that for sure pop. That for sure pop player going along with Aiden Hudson. And who do you guys think it's going to be? I think James Houston makes a very strong case. I think Romeo Okwara makes a very strong case. Really, is he 100% healthy, and can he stay healthy? It's not. Some of these guys, everybody's healthy when we're practicing in shorts. Everybody. Unless you had an injury at the end of last year, everybody's healthy right now. But can these guys stay healthy? And I'm just thinking about who's going to be that guy in the room. I like some of the edge players, but do we need to add? Do we need to add a last-minute edge? Do we need to add a last-minute interior lineman? Not sure, and I don't think you do, quite honestly. I like the linebacker room, and I like the secondary. Talking about the secondary, a lot of talent. A lot of talent. And I'm thinking Cameron Sutton's going to be that guy to step up and be the leader in that room early on. But all of that, those are my 3 keys. What are your 3 keys? Or do you agree with my 3 keys? And it's a little bit of different things that you look at when talking about the perspective of which we're looking at these keys. Now, we're going to talk about this in the comments, and I know it, but I just want to know also for you guys, who's the leaders in this room? Who's the underdogs for you guys? Who are you really looking at? Who is my guy? Who's your favorite player? I know my favorite player. That's Aiden Hudson. He ain't underrated. There's nothing wrong about him. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. And again, everybody knows, I'm not a Detroit Lions fan, but Aiden Hutchinson is he's up there. My top 5 favorite football players of all. And it's just because he plays hard every play, aggressive, passionate, all of those things you want a technician coming in the year one. Now, he does have a little bit of things he can improve on, but his technique is way above measures for what we would expect from a year one edge. And I mean, he was warranted for that number 2 overall pick. But I'm going to leave you guys with that thought for today. Like I said, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about this. That's going to do it for this episode today. And now we out.